So I'd already announced my pregnancy, obviously, because I felt better about this one. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel anxious about this one. I felt ready. I felt like this was happening. And so I announced it earlier on, and that's why I have to now formally let the world know that I have miscarried, and that way nobody asks me, how far are you now? Do you know the gender yet? How are you doing? Any morning sickness? I have to publicly now let you guys know, so that I can avoid all that and let the healing process begin, because I know that if I wait to tell people, that eventually more questions will be asked, and it'll be harder for me to heal because the wound will keep getting opened up, and I'm ready to accept it, move on, and I can't do that unless I admit it, tell everyone. So I am making this video because I kind of regret not making it last time. I don't think that this is something anybody should hide or feel ashamed about or feel like it's something they can't talk about. I feel like more people need to talk about it because it's not that uncommon. That's our baby. And today, actually yesterday, we'll start there. So yesterday, I had been cramping for majority of this trip, but I didn't think it was anything abnormal because cramping in pregnancy is very common. So you guys, I've literally cried all day, so if I seem really insensitive, I promise I'm not. I'm literally just numb at this point. But yeah, yesterday I had cramping again, I had headaches, and when I went to the washroom I noticed a little bit of blood in my urine. Now, it wasn't anything crazy, it was like literally the tiniest bit, and by the end of the day it wasn't there anymore. And I remember thinking like, okay, we'll go tomorrow because our insurance covers us. We'll go tomorrow to the hospital out here in Hawaii, and everyone online was saying it's a UTI, whatnot. So I honestly only thought that that's what it was, and so we went to the hospital because we were covered. So I figured, you know what? They'll tell me it's a UTI. I'll get to see baby, and I'll be happy because it's been a while since I've seen baby, and I was really worried last time around at the ultrasound, because at my first ultrasound I was supposed to be 8 weeks 5 days and baby was measuring 7 weeks 4 days. So they didn't seem too worried, but I knew something was off because I knew my days. And I remember reading somewhere along the lines of, if baby's measuring that far behind, to go and get a follow-up ultrasound in a week or two to see if baby's progressing or if they're just generally not growing. So I remember being very worried about that the day before we left for this trip. And so we head to the hospital, everything's okay, and they don't seem worried about anything. They're like, do you know what, before you go, we're just going to give you an ultrasound so you can see baby and so you can know that baby's okay. And I remember the second I got to the hospital, I had a bad feeling. I said, I feel like something is wrong. I didn't think that this is what it was, but something felt wrong. And I remember the ultrasound tech came in, and I laid down, and she put the probe on my stomach, And immediately I knew, because I remember what my daughter Ever's ultrasound looked like at 12 weeks, and I couldn't even see the baby because the baby was so small. And then after I watched her facial expression and I watched her tear up a little bit, I asked her if she saw a heartbeat, and she told me, "Oh, I'm not looking for that yet. I just have to check everything else out first." So I said, "Okay." And then when they check the heartbeat, you'll see the photo of the ultrasound goes smaller, and you can see the lines at the bottom where the heart would go. And so she picked up my heartbeat for a second, and for a second there I thought, everything's okay, baby's growing really small. But then she put the probe over the baby and it stopped and went flat. And I thought maybe baby's, really small and it's not picking it up. But baby didn't move at all. And there was no heartbeat, no flicker, no nothing. And she could tell I knew. I started to cry before she said anything. And she said, "I'm not supposed to tell you this, but you seem like you already know." She showed me that there was blood flow all around the baby, but the baby didn't have anything. It didn't show any blood flow in the baby, no heartbeat. And she said that the baby passed away 3 weeks ago. So about a week after we came to Hawaii, the baby passed away. And I had no symptoms. I kept telling everyone, who asked me how I'm feeling, I said, "I'm feeling great. I have no symptoms, I'm doing good." And now I know why I had no symptoms, because I didn't have a baby alive in me. So she said, "I'm not supposed to do this, but you already know. Baby passed away 3 weeks ago. Would you like to see them?" So I sat up and she showed me the picture she had taken of the baby. And the system's down right now in Hawaii, like literally island wide, so she couldn't print anything down or off for me, but she let me take a picture of the baby. And I'm really thankful she did, to be honest. So I'll show you guys again. So I was supposed to be 12 weeks, 2 days, and baby's heart stopped at exactly 9 weeks. So it was nice though being able to see the baby after I knew on the screen. Say a little goodbye and take it all in. And I think that this miscarriage hit a little bit harder than the last one, because the last one I hadn't seen the baby. I was too early and I hadn't had an ultrasound yet, but for this baby, this was my second ultrasound. So at my last ultrasound, I got to see that little flicker and that little light in their heart shine, and this time around I didn't. I can't help but keep looking at that picture and just say sorry. Because I feel like it's my fault. I've had 2 in a row. And I don't feel normal. I feel like it's just my fault. I had to, for those of you who know who are pregnant, I'm Rh negative. So I had to get my RhoGAM shot before I left. And everyone who had to come in and out of that hospital room to give me results or give me tests or give me pain meds just couldn't help but, you know, comment on it and obviously tell me they're sorry. And, you know, I told the doctor prior to my ultrasound, I said, I have a bad feeling about this. And he said, there's no bad signs right now, you know, everything came back okay. I really hope you're wrong. And he came back after the ultrasound and he told me that I have a really strong sense of intuition because there were no signs. Like I said, the blood in the urine was literally the tiniest bit, and it could have been a UTI, and I wasn't expecting to get that news. But I mean, 2 in a row, 2 miscarriages in 1 year is kind of really hard. You know, you see everybody else around you, you know, get pregnant. I had a group of ladies who I knew were expecting around the same time as me and due at the same time as me, so I was like, oh my goodness, our babies could be friends, you know. I'm following along their pregnancies, and I think the hardest part is just knowing that I have to, you know, continue I'll always remember at what stage of my pregnancy I was in because of all the friends that I have that were in the same doing, like, within a month of me. So they're milestones, you know. Don't get me wrong, if you're watching this, like, I'm gonna be so excited for you, and I'm all in for you, and I'm so excited, and I will be praying for you girls, but you know, it is gonna hurt me a little bit inside, and it's just something I have to get used to. And I think the hardest part is the fact that right now I'm in a state of healing. So I'm trying to find peace in all of this. And I told God while I laid on that ultrasound bed the second I knew, I told him I'm okay with it. You know, this is not your timing. And it wasn't meant to be right now. And I'm okay. And I'm not mad at you, I'm not mad at him. I told him I understood. It wasn't his time. And I want to find healing right now. But unfortunately, because it's already been 3 weeks that the baby has been passed away, and the baby's still inside of me in one piece, I hope the baby passes naturally, but I just really hope that it passes naturally soon, because I would hate for me to spend a week or 2, feel healed, feel at peace, and then have the process of the actual passing through my body take place and just break all over again. So I was offered a DNC out here in Hawaii. However, I don't know for sure if that's covered. They told me I'm okay and I'm safe to let the pregnancy take its course and see how long it'll take before nature takes its course. Obviously, things happen, but I'm really kind of hoping that it takes 2 weeks or so before anything starts, because for those of you who don't know, long story short, we're going home in 2 weeks because of things that have taken place here aside from this event. And I'm kind of glad that we decided that, because now that this has taken place, I just want to be home and I want to be with friends and family and loved ones. And if it takes 2 more weeks, I can go home and do the DNC and have a burial back home. Baby is only around 3 centimeters, roughly. And I think that would bring me a lot more healing if I could do the burial. So I know it's going to be hard to go through the healing process knowing it's not even over yet. And it's only going to hurt more when, you know, it all happens. But sucks. You know, nobody talks about this. I took a gender test and like a blood test early on in the pregnancy, or earlier on, and I'm supposed to get the results within, I think, 2 to 3 days. So I was really looking forward to that email, but now I'm really dreading it. I mean, it'll bring me more closure, but really bittersweet. So, and we've already told most of my family. I called them or emailed them or texted them, not emailed, messaged them or called them from the hospital, and I let them know. I told some close friends, and here I am making this video. I found out at, I don't know, like 2 o'clock. Not even. Actually, it was like 2 o'clock, and it is 6:50. So everything's still really fresh. I'm still really broken, still really numb. But this is my story, and I don't know, I hope it helps somebody out there. I hope someone can relate and someone can understand the healing process and the mindset of what happens during a miscarriage, because it doesn't deserve to go under the rug and doesn't deserve to go unnoticed, because it's hard, especially when you see that little heartbeat and the next time you don't. It's really hard. I just ask that you guys continue to pray for us, that we continue to accept what has happened, and that in the future, you know, maybe we can have more kids, because I want more kids, and you know, I don't want to have to go through this again. So I think that's all that I have for this video. I will find healing, and I will find peace, and I will be okay. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please let me know, you know, if you're a mama who's got through the same thing, don't hide it. It's still October, and October is infant, what was it? It was pretty much miscarriage, like, awareness month for those babies who you never got to hold. And, you know, it's okay, because this baby's in heaven with their sibling. And even though I wanted a sibling for my daughter down here, you know, they at least have each other. And I'll get to see you one day. But, yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. Until next time.